Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something profoundly simple, yet incredibly powerful: joy. We often chase it, strive for it, and sometimes, even demand it. But what if our understanding of joy is fundamentally flawed? What if our relentless pursuit actually pushes it further away? We live in a world that constantly tells us to achieve, to conquer, to maintain. This mentality, while beneficial in many aspects of our lives, can become a significant barrier when it comes to experiencing genuine joy. We are taught to hold on to good feelings, to make them last, to bottle them up so they never fade. We are conditioned to believe that true success lies in the accumulation of lasting happiness, a never-ending state of bliss. But true joy, the kind that resonates deep within our souls, operates on a different principle altogether. It's a delicate, transient visitor, not a permanent resident that we can force to stay. Think about the most joyful moments you've experienced. Were they moments you desperately tried to cling to manipulate into an indefinite stay? Or did they simply unfold, naturally and effortlessly, leaving a beautiful imprint on your memory before gracefully departing? Often, the most profound joys arrive when we are least expecting them, when we are fully present, and when we are not trying to control the outcome. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you clench your fist, the more it slips through your fingers, irrevocably lost to your desperate grip. The same can be said for joy. The more we try to force it, to extend its stay beyond its natural lifespan, the more elusive and frustrating it becomes. This persistent struggle to retain joy often ironically diminishes our capacity to truly appreciate it in the first place. This brings us to a beautiful, yet often overlooked, truth that challenges our ingrained societal norms and personal expectations. Joy is not something we force to last, but something we gently stay with. Let that profound insight sink in for a moment. It challenges our conventional wisdom, doesn't it? It invites us to reevaluate our relationship with happiness and contentment, shifting our perspective from a demanding consumer to a gentle observer. It suggests a more delicate, more intuitive, and ultimately, more fulfilling approach to experiencing the good things in life. One that honors the natural ebb and flow of emotions. We are not meant to be perpetually happy, nor are we meant to force ourselves into a constant state of euphoria, a relentless peak that is unsustainable and ultimately exhausting. Life is a rich, complex tapestry woven with threads of varying colors. Vibrant joy, melancholic sorrow, exhilarating excitement, profound calm, daunting challenges, and triumphant victories. Each thread, in its unique hue and texture, contributes to the unparalleled richness and intricate complexity of the human experience. To demand only joy, to filter out all other emotions, is to ignore the intricate beauty and profound lessons inherent in the full spectrum of our existence. It's like wanting only sunny days, never appreciating the life-giving, cleansing rain, or the cozy, contemplative comfort of a soft, cloudy afternoon, both of which serve their own vital purposes in the grand scheme of nature and our lives. This profound statement, joy is not something we force to last, but something we gently stay with, offers us a truly liberating perspective. It frees us from the exhausting, self-imposed pressure to sustain every positive feeling indefinitely, a burden that often leads to burnout and disappointment. It encourages us to embrace the inherently ephemeral nature of emotions, to understand with deep conviction that joy, like all feelings, is transient, a fleeting moment that passes, and in its very transience lies its unique and exquisite beauty, a preciousness that would be lost if it were eternal. When we try to force joy to last, to extend its tenure beyond its natural conclusion, we often end up creating anxiety, disappointment, and a sense of inadequacy. We become fixated on its inevitable departure, rather than fully savoring its precious presence. We start to fear its end even while it's still vibrantly with us. A fear that diminishes its power and our ability to fully immerse ourselves in its embrace, robbing us of the very experience we desperately seek to prolong. Instead, this liberating wisdom asks us to gently stay with joy. What exactly does it mean to gently stay with something? It means to acknowledge its arrival with an open heart, to embrace its presence without grasping, to appreciate it fully without demanding its permanence. It's about being entirely present in the moment of joy, allowing it to wash over you like a warm, comforting wave, to fill you completely, to resonate deep within your core, without attempting to anchor it down or freeze it in time. It's like watching a breathtaking sunset. You don't try to stop the sun from setting, understanding the futility of such an endeavor. Instead, you simply marvel at its ephemeral beauty as it majestically unfolds, knowing instinctively that it will return with the promise of a new day. You don't try to capture the last, fading rays of light, and force them to indefinitely stay in the sky. You simply absorb the moment, allowing its magnificent warmth, its vivid colors, and its profound beauty to touch you, to nourish your soul, and to leave an indelible mark on your memory, all without the need for endless retention. To gently stay with joy means to cultivate mindfulness in its purest form. It means paying meticulous attention to the subtle sensations it brings, the quiet contentment that settles within you, the lightheartedness that lifts your spirit, the genuine smile that spreads across your face, the warmth that radiates from your heart, the newfound energy in your step. It's about letting these precious feelings occupy your present moment, fully, completely, and without reservation. But crucially, without the added, heavy burden of trying to make them perpetual or eternal. This gentle, non-demanding approach allows joy to flourish more authentically, more naturally, and more profoundly. It creates sacred space for genuine appreciation, for unadulterated gratitude, free from the suffocating shadow of expectation, the oppressive weight of comparison, or the paralyzing fear of loss. It's an invitation to experience joy in its purest, most unadulterated form. Consider the alternative, the more common but less effective path. Constantly striving to extend joy, to bottle it up, to replicate it on demand. This often leads to an artificial, forced experience. A performative happiness that feels hollow, insincere, and ultimately unsatisfying. We might convince ourselves, or try to convince others, that we should always be happy, always be positive. And when we inevitably fall short of this unrealistic ideal, we feel an intense sense of failure, guilt, or inadequacy. This relentless pressure to maintain a facade of constant happiness is immense, crushing, and ultimately unsustainable. It drains our vital energy, both physical and emotional, and tragically distracts us from the very essence of joy itself. We become so preoccupied with the longevity or performance of joy that we completely miss the profound depth and simple beauty of its actual experience. Focusing on the metrics rather than the meaning. But when we choose to embrace the wisdom of gently staying with joy, we cultivate a deeper, more resilient, and truly authentic sense of well-being that is not dependent on external circumstances. We learn to trust the natural rhythms of life and emotion, understanding that just as seasons change, so too do our internal states. We understand with a calm certainty that joy will come and go, like predictable, yet ever unique, waves on the shore. And just as one wave gracefully recedes, its energy returning to the vast ocean, another, equally beautiful and vital, will eventually arrive to greet us. This profound understanding brings a deep and abiding sense of peace and acceptance. It allows us to greet joy with an open, welcoming heart, to cherish its precious presence with gratitude, and to release it with grace and understanding when its time naturally concludes. There is no struggle, no force, no desperate clinging, just a gentle, appreciative embrace of its fleeting yet powerful existence. This transformative perspective also empowers us to appreciate joy in its myriad forms. Not just the grand, explosive moments that often grab our attention and dominate our expectations. It teaches us to find profound delight in the quiet morning coffee, the comforting warmth of a loved one's hand, the simple beauty of a single blooming flower pushing through concrete, or the serene, often overlooked, act of breathing itself. These small, often unnoticed, everyday joys, when gently stayed with, when acknowledged and appreciated without demand, accumulate synergistically to create a rich, vibrant, and deeply fulfilling life experience. We don't need a constant barrage of fireworks every day to feel joyful. or to experience profound happiness. Sometimes, the soft, steady glow of a single candle, illuminating the darkness with its gentle flame, is infinitely more profound, more comforting, and more deeply resonant than the most spectacular, yet fleeting, pyrotechnic display. So, I challenge you today, from the deepest part of my being, to fundamentally reframe your relationship with joy. Stop trying to force it to last, a futile and exhausting endeavor. Stop clinging to it with an iron grip, for that only serves to push it away. Instead, consciously and consistently practice gently staying with it. When joy arises, acknowledge its sacred presence. Breathe it in deeply, allowing its essence to permeate your entire being. Feel its warmth, its lightness, its expansive energy. Let it fill